Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about installing ImageMagick locally to generate images for Statamic. So first of all, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to use ImageMagick versus the default? So Statamic by default generates images through an image processing technology called GD, which for most cases will probably be okay. But in my experience, using ImageMagick as an image processing technology gives far superior results, especially when you're talking about larger images that are more noticeable. For example, like large hero images or screenshots on your portfolio, for example. So when you're dealing with things like this, it's really preferable to try and use ImageMagick instead. So getting ImageMagick working is a different process locally versus on a production server. The way I've got things set up at the moment is I've just installed my local site, and you can see if I scroll down, all these images are blank because in the configuration I've got, it says to use ImageMagick, but this is not installed yet. So if I go to my text editor and I open up assets.php, which is in the config folder, as you can see here, you can see that on line 42 at the moment, it says driver and then ImageMagick or ImageMagick. So yours will probably be GD by default. You can just copy ImageMagick here, or Imagick for short, and paste it over GD in the driver section. So that's the first step to getting ImageMagick working. Now, if you're using Valet for your local environment, what we can do is use Homebrew to install ImageMagick. So if you've already got Valet installed, you've probably already got Homebrew installed. But just in case you haven't, if you just Google Homebrew and then copy this command and paste it into terminal, it will install Homebrew for you. And Homebrew is a kind of package manager, so we can use that to install ImageMagick. We're going to use a couple of commands here. First is brew install ImageMagick. You can find these commands in the article. Okay, so this took a few minutes to complete. I've just fast forwarded the video. The last line, it says an error and it couldn't remove something. So I'm just going to run this command like it suggests. Okay, the next command is brew install package config. That was a bit faster. Now we're getting to the meat, which is Peckle install ImageMagick. When you get to this prefix message, you can just hit enter. And when that's done, finally we restart Valet with Valet restart. Let's see if the magic worked. Refresh. No. Probably something to do with the cache, so let's try PHP please glide clear. Okay. Couldn't open input file, and this is because we're not in the folder. Let's try again. Refresh. Let's just see if we go to the control panel whether this is working. So if I go to utilities and then PHP info, if I search for magic, it's not found, which means that something's going wrong, because what should happen is you should see a section in here like this, ImageMagick. Okay, I've just tried to search my system for ImageMagick using this command, and since it returns blank, it means it's not installed correctly. And if I just go up a little bit, you can see it says error here. It's a shame it didn't output in red, but it says failed to make directory. So let's Google that error. Welcome back. I paused the video and managed to get this working. It turns out it was down to this error here, this warning make directory error. So with a bit of Googling, thanks to Patrick, where he says you simply need to make the directory the script cannot, and he's got a couple of commands here. So what I ended up doing was running this command, which again I'll put in the notes in case you run into this error. So here pb copy, which I believe stands for pasteboard copy, simply copies whatever this is to your clipboard. And then you want to type this in manually, this make directory. And the reason you want to type that in manually is because after that, you're going to hit Command V to paste in whatever you copied here. So let me just do this. So for example, I paste that in, which grabs something for me. And then it's mk directory p. And then if I paste, this will be the full command then. And that will make that directory, because as Patrick says, the script cannot. It has a problem doing it. Maybe it's a security thing. So I did that, which makes the directory. And then I ran Peckle install ImageMagick. And then you might not need to do this. I ran PHP please glide clear, which should just clean the cache out. And eventually it said install OK, which you can see here. Extension ImageMagick enabled in php.ini. And finally, you'll want to run valet restart. Then if you go to utilities, then PHP info in your control panel and search for Magick, you should find a whole section on this. I have to say, normally it's a bit more straightforward installing ImageMagick locally. With all these things, you will run into error messages depending on the slight version of Big Sur that you're on or Mac OS. When you do, normally you can Google your way out of them, which I've just done here. The good news is that you only need to do this once on your local install. Once we've done this and got it up and running, it should be fine for all the other sites. So again, it's, Statamic can be a little bit of a pain getting it up and running. I mean, in fairness, it's not Statamic per se. It's more like the developer environment of Composer and all that kind of stuff. But once it is up and running, hopefully now you've got ImageMagick installed, you will notice a difference in your image quality, and then you can try and get it running on your production server, which I'll cover in another video.